Well, let's turn to Alp Mehmet, an old friend of this programme, chairman of Migration Watch. One of the problems, Alp, that your organisation faces, and I do too, is that if we're critical of those that cross the English Channel in dinghies, somehow we've got the establishment, and perhaps the Archbishop is the epitome, in many ways, of the establishment, questioning our morality, questioning our motives, that basically he's on the side of virtue and you're a very bad person.
Well, far be it to judge myself as to whether I'm a good or bad person.
See what I'm saying about the debate?
I do, Nigel. And I have to say that I found what His Grace said to a degree morally reprehensible.
Go on.
Why does he think that actually justifying and effectively encouraging those who come to this country illegally against the wishes of the vast majority of people in this country who want it to stop? It's costly and it's unfair.
Are you suggesting that the Archbishop of Canterbury is in effect encouraging the traffickers to carry on with their trade?
Effectively, that's precisely what's happening. That is precisely what it's doing. It's encouraging people to say, to come over here because it's okay. It's morally okay to do that, so go ahead and do it. That is wrong, and the vast majority of people in this country think it's wrong. And as for, you mentioned at the top of the programme that 450,000 people have come here, 500,000 people have come over the last 6-7 years.
Refugees.
As refugees. Yeah. Do you know that we have also, in 2021, we accepted nearly 5 times more directly resettled people in this country than the whole of the EU put together. They took in
You'll never hear that on the BBC,
22...
Never, ever on the BBC will you hear that.
You won't. It was 22... In fact, we didn't hear... We heard the opposite from Mr Lineker, but we'll let that slide for the time being. We accepted 105,000 people, over nearly 105,500 people into this country, directly resettled. So what planet is His Grace on, frankly?
Well, no,
what I would suggest to him is, Your Grace, please stop engaging with the virtue signalling world of woke and engage with reality.
Moving on. It's all going to be okay, though, because Rishi's going to stop the boats.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? I'm not sure that that's going to happen. But first of all, let me just say that I think that Suella Braverman really does mean it. She wants to do that.
Clear.
I'm not sure that she's getting all the support that she needs from the whole of Whitehall, including Number 10, I have to say. I don't know, but that's the way I sense things are going. Whether the boats will stop... Look, the only thing that will stop those boats is if, on arrival, all those coming in illegally actually get detained, dealt with quickly, and removed. And that's not going to happen.
Which this legislation that was being objected to by the Archbishop of Canterbury, it does say in this legislation that's what they intend to do.
Well, that's what they intend to do. And if that's what's going to happen, great. You and I would welcome that. Whether it does or not, I'm not sure. One thing I would slightly disagree with you on, Nigel, I think that we probably should be pulling out of the ECHR now. No question. It's just wrong for the time. It's not fit for purpose.
We don't disagree on that.
No, we don't disagree on that. But I think I disagree with you on is the fact that that would effectively stop the boats coming. It won't.
No.
The push factors and the pull factors are far too great.
I've never said on its own leaving ECHR would stop the boats, any more than I said leaving the EU would make us richer. But it would.
It will, eventually.
But it would take away barriers to it. Final thought, very quickly, Alp, if I may. We've been chatting this week about the upcoming set of net migration figures. We were all astonished when the last lot was 500,000. I mean, the pre-Brexit high was 331,000, and that was against the 50-year Second World War to 2000 net 30,000 a year. We're told the next set of figures could be even higher.
Yeah, and let's not forget that those figures are 10 times higher than what we've got coming across the channel.
Yes.
I mean, that is a serious problem, and I think
but they're coming legally.
a danger, a risk. Coming in legally, largely
So the
because
government's allowing
of the policies that the government has introduced. That, I think, is going to be something that we all suffer from. I don't know how many it's going to be, but what I can confidently predict is going to be hugely more than the 500,000, which in itself was unprecedented, that we had last time round, when we have the figures for the whole of 2022. That, I'm afraid, is something that the government is glossing over, and I would venture to suggest that they are actually using the channel as a distraction. I say